Guys, I am here for my weekly What Sold video. I'm going to let you know what sold for me this past week on Depop, Mercari, Poshmark, and eBay. I did have a pretty good sales week. A couple of slow days, but I did do some things to generate some more income for me this week. So if you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so, and let's get started. Okay guys, before we get into this video, I just want to talk about PrimeLister's new feature, which is their eBay automation tool. This is really exciting because I've never known another company that does eBay automation. Usually it's just Poshmark. So I've already been using it and testing it out so that way I can let you guys know how it's working for me. They do offers to watchers, and then they also do recreates, which is like a relist. So super helpful. You don't have to share your password or anything like that. They do use an API integration in order to connect your store. It's super quick and easy and secure. It's also cloud-based, so you don't have to worry about having your computer up and running, say, while you're at home or if you're traveling or anything like that. So that's nice as well. You can use my link down below to get a 14-day free trial as well as 30% off of your first month. So I would highly suggest trying it for at least a month and seeing how it helps change your eBay business. After that, it's only $15 a month, which is super cheap. You're gonna easily and quickly make that money back. So it's nice to be able to have them do all of this automation because that means less time on the app, less time on your phone sending out offers, and more time you can be doing other things for your business or say with your personal family. So let me know down below if you're going to sign up. Again, click the link down below in the description and let's get into the rest of the video. I still haven't figured out a way to keep my head in a little bubble the whole time on the screen. So we are going to just minimize myself and I'll try to pop myself in as much as possible. I did have one personal sale, so that was a pair of Lululemon shorts that I sold to a viewer or a follower on Instagram. She ended up buying them for $30 plus shipping, so that was nice. Depop, I had a few sales. This is sales from the 10th to the 16th. So I sold these men's Samba shoes for $46.20. I got these at a local Goodwill. I threw them in my wash and they came out really nice. They were a pair of I already said that, Sambas. So you want to look for the Samba. The Gazelle on the side also does really well, but try to make sure they're in pretty decent condition or that you can at least clean them up pretty well. So this person asked me if I had white laces. I was like, sorry, no, but you can change them out. And then he ended up buying them, shockingly, because if you guys sell on Depop, you know that people like to just send you offers and never pay for them. So that's great. Next up is a pair of Circle G boots. These sold for $45. These were in a size 8.5. They were called the Diamond Embroidered Boot. Kind of had this worn, distressed look on purpose. I like to pick up Circle G, although I have noticed that the taller boots do better. The ankle boots don't seem to do as good. I think I sold a different pair this week, or maybe it was last week, for kind of less money. So I might just try to focus more on the taller, like Western style boots. And then the last thing I sold was this Adidas Marimekko sweatshirt. I was actually getting a lot of likes and offers for this on Depop. It was a new to me collaboration. I've heard of it. Actually, I've heard of Marimekko, but I've never heard of them together with Adidas. So I was excited when I found it. Size large, so I would say definitely pick up any Marimekko stuff that you see, at least in my opinion or my experience. Okay, next we have Mercari. I had 3 sales on Mercari. One was a pair of Judy blue jeans that sold for $38. These were new with tags, I think, which is why I got them. They were the Boys Town black high-rise 90s slit straight jeans, and they sold for $38. So that was great. I also sold yesterday this vintage jacket. I picked this up kind of based on style, but I did go ahead and look up the brand to see what it was going for. The brand was called Country Woods, and it had this like wooded forest snowy scene with kind of like the Sherpa lining. So that's what the tag looks like, if you can see that behind there. It also had these wood like buttons. That one sold for an offer of $34, so that was great. And then I sold this Cole Haan coat. So Clothes Mentor did not end up taking this. I paid $1 for it, so I listed it for $25. It had a spot and it had some pilling, and it sold actually really quickly. So I guess that was still a good sale. I tried to take another bag of stuff to Clothes Mentor update. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, they took like 7 things. So, and I averaged like I averaged like $4 or $5 payout per thing. So that wasn't worth it. They tried to tell me that the stuff they didn't take wasn't in style. I literally saw stuff like that in their store. And then she's like, looking at a piece of paper, she's like, okay, reasons we didn't take it. Wash or wear. Actually, probably not. I was like, what? So I don't know. Maybe they had too much of it. It was almost like she was just telling me something just to tell me, but like it wasn't actually true of what my item was, what was wrong with my item. So I think I might only give stuff to them if I'm trying to get rid of inventory, or like save up like designer stuff, because they seem to like almost any designer items or brands, even like Kate Spade and stuff, and just do that, not specifically source for them every week. So at least I did an experiment and it did not work. Okay, next let's just do eBay. Poshmark's last. Again, I had the most sales on Poshmark. eBay, the 16th. We sold these IC by Connie K pants for $15.75. These were a pair of black pants with this little like detail at the bottom. Women's size medium. Ellie? Ellie! Ellie, get up here. Ellie, get up here. Ah, the UPS guy. Come on. Come over here and sit by me. Why don't you get in your place right there? Nope. Get in your bed. Ellie, go in your place. Stay. Okay, sorry guys. Real life here. My dog's barking at the UPS guy. I would not pick up these again. I'm hardly picking up anything. Ellie, get back in your bed. She's not listening. Hang on. Ellie, back in your bed. Get over here. Ellie, Ellie. Ah. Okay, she's racing to her kennel. That's fine. You stay in there and relax. That's her spot where she goes to relax, her kennel. Although sometimes she pops right back out of there. I'm only getting plus size of this, and it has to be like a good artsy type look. So that's that. Next up is a pair of Vionic boots that sold for $34. These were a size 7. These were called the Rory boots. They did have a little bit of wear in the toe, but I did make sure to take a picture of that. Not all Vionic does as good as it used to, so I would definitely look up comps on the style that you have. After that, I sold this Torrid skirt. I listed this for $85, and it sold with a coupon, a 20% off coupon, which is nuts. I decided to look this up. I was listening to somebody's video recently, and they said that Torrid rainbow stuff seems to do good. So I was like, okay, this seems good. Plus, it was new with tags. So even the used ones, I'm assuming, would do good. But it was, I mean, that's crazy for a Torrid skirt, especially for the brand Torrid, because I'm not selling it right now. Like, hardly at all. Ellie, you better be quiet. She came out and she's watching the neighbor dog. Okay. So apparently Bolo, if you find this tulle rainbow skirt from Torrid, pick it up. Yay. IC by Connie K. Again, this is a shirt that sold for $17.50. This was within a size large, and it was black. So again, a smaller size, not very colorful, not really the profit that I want to have. This is better, however. These were a pair of Lululemon pants in a women's size medium that sold for $50 with a coupon, so that is about $40. They were the Luxtreme fabric, and they were definitely a newer style. They had the logo up here on the back by the pocket. So that was an exciting sale. I'm trying to look for just newer Lululemon that is more desirable. Next up is the brand Mission Canyon. This sold for $18. I found a bunch of this last year. It kind of seemed like a beachy, lag-and look, oversized brand. So this one just have had for a while and got rid of it. Next up was a vintage Crofton Barrow cardigan that sold for $42 with a coupon. I really like these little cardigans, the vintage ones with like the snowy scenes. And this one had like a moose and a bear, I think, with a house. It also had something on the back with a snowman. So that was kind of a risk because it wasn't brand based, but it still paid off. I sold these at Goldie jeans for $85. So if you guys watched one of my recent videos, I got a bunch of a Goldie and Mother jeans for about $30 each. Now, after all the fees and everything on eBay, I still did make $65. So if I subtract the cost of goods, I've still made a $35 profit on these, which is great because right now I'm trying to look for things that give me at least a $20 profit. A $35 profit, that's amazing. Even though I had to pay up, I don't care. These were a size 27. They were the Fran style. They were like more of a loose fit, baggy. So definitely a better style than like a skinny. I do leave behind the Il Goldie skinny jeans. So that was nice. I sold this Lily Pulitzer Captain shirt for only $18.75. I think that's what I had it on. It was also an extra small. This is very bright Lily Pulitzer, but it can be, $15.75. Very, very oversaturated. Next up was this coat. Story behind this coat. My husband's been out of town all week, and so at nights I've been downstairs going through my inventory because I've started it and stopped it a billion times, and I'm like, I need to go for real this time. He's gone, so I have time to just do, work like 24/7, work a lot. And so this is like part of the work. So I'm going through and I'm finding things that I thought that I lost or that I didn't know where they were. I couldn't find them. I didn't write down the SKU number for some stupid reason. There was multiple bins that were Ryan's old things that I thought I had went through all of them, but I never did. So we have lots of boxes going to ThredUp, and then we have some things, and I just made a sale on Mercari, so that's great. Should we see what it is? Also, my sister's texting me. Okay, Judy blue jeans. Oh, size 30, skinny, nothing special, $25. Okay, glad to get rid of those. Anyway, so I found this, and I remember I sold this a while ago. I looked all over. I swore I couldn't find it, and then here it is. And so I relisted it. It sold right away for $25. So that's great. If you guys haven't done that, I would suggest doing it at least once a year. I really need to be doing it more. Okay, next up was an Escada sweater. This sold for $40. My full asking price, or maybe I listed it for $50 and it sold for an offer. This was a belted, chunky cardigan sweater. It did have an alpaca wool blend, which is why I decided to get it, and it was more like a mid-length cardigan. I don't pick up everything from Escada. Next up was a pair of Abercrombie jeans that sold for $9. These were a pair of slim straight, ultra high rise, size 6, Curve Love. Yeah, the brand is not doing great for most things. I sold these North Face overalls for $75 with a coupon, so this was great. I couldn't find a style name on these, so I just went ahead and listed them with my own keywords. These came out on a new rack and they sold really fast, so I think ski stuff is selling really good right now. Next up was an Eileen Fisher sweater that sold for $22.80. This does say 40% discount. So I think maybe this was on a 40% off sale, which means I've had it for probably at least 6 months. This was an older tag. It was a black 100% wool cardigan. So goodbye. Another Eileen Fisher item that sold for $30. This one was a size medium. It was an extra fine merino wool pullover sweater. So that was a decent sale as well. These Athleta pants sold extremely quickly. You don't hear me talking about Athleta very much on my channel. I would have listed them for higher, but they did have a flaw and I couldn't get it out in the wash once, and I'm not about to be wasting a ton of time. Keep trying to stain treat things. They were the Pinnacle high-rise trousers. I got them because if you look at this little tag behind the material, you will see what year it's from. This was from fall of 24. So literally just a few months ago. That is the stuff that I will pick up from Athleta. So still sold them for $28 extremely quickly. So I'm happy with that. This also sold fast. It was an Allie Miles tunic top that sold for $33.60. This was in a size 2X. I'm not selling all of my Allie Miles this quickly, but I think because of this colorful look and more of like an artsy look, it did better. So I was happy with that. I've had this Torrid coat forever. It sold for $27. This was new with tags. It was a faux leather with a wool blend. It did not matter. I've had this thing for so long, and I just don't really like selling Torrid these days. Next up is a Talbot's blazer that sold for $27. Save up to 40% discount. Okay, that must have been in my sale. 14, red, Christmas I did put, although it's past Christmas, but maybe somebody got it for Valentine's. I think it's new without tags. That was decent. Next up was a Ming Wang sweater that was in a size 1X that sold for $11. This did not do well, but I feel like this color combo is not the best, and it's kind of more of like a fitted one. I don't know. I just feel like there's other styles that seem to do better. Next up was a Beach Bunny bikini top. I've had this also forever. Size small, new with tags. Retails for $105, but only sold for $20. I sold this fresh produce dress really fast though. So this was a size 3X. It was a brown ruffle, cotton, like beachy kind of dress. I will pick up fresh produce and plus size dresses. Seems to do okay. Other stuff can do fine, but it doesn't sell for quite as much. Next up was a Sundance ribbed top. This sold for $15.75. This was in a size medium, ribbed, half sleeve. It was cute, but nobody wanted it. At least not for the price I had it at originally. Next up was a Disney Park sweater. This was in a size extra small. And it had the Encanto embroidered on it, which was very cute, but then I got it home and realized it was a kid's one. So it's still sold, or wait, it was kids, but I listed it as women's extra small. Still sold for $21. I probably could have got more if it was maybe a larger women's size. Next up was a Ted Baker dress that sold for $22. This was in a size 10. It was a high neck white lace halter dress. So that was okay. Here's another torrid rainbow item. So, I mean, I guess bolo and the torrid rainbow. Jacket, cardigan. It was color, sequins, disco. I put in Swifty in there because that's trending. So that sold for $35. I sold this miracle suit for $33.60. This was in a women's size large. It was a black mesh floral one-piece swimsuit. I really like selling that brand for swimsuits. I sold these Title IX pants in a size 12. I've sold these once before. They got returned for fit, so hopefully this time the sale sticks. Next up was an Athleta pair of leggings that sold for $7.50. These were new with tags. These were the Elation 7/8 tight, and they did horrible. And I feel like I talked about this last week, but I said this was sales from the 10th through the 16th. So if I did, you're hearing it again. Dooney & Burke purse, $11.25. I've had this for literally over a year. But I think because it wasn't leather, it was just kind of like a cotton fabric-y material. And so I don't know. It was authentic, but just not desirable, I guess. Okay, so that's it for eBay. Let's go on to Poshmark. Yesterday, I did send out sales. I put likes into a bundle and I sent out 35% off offer sales, which did make me 20 sales yesterday. A lot of lower stuff, a lot of older stuff that moved out, which I'm happy about because why should I hold on to things? I don't understand how people hold on to things for years. Like when any kind of regular store, when you go shopping in or even online, they do sales. They don't keep stuff in their stores for like 4 years. So it's like if stuff isn't selling, like even like seasonal, like once it gets to be here pretty soon, these stores are going to put their winter stuff on sale because they're trying to get rid of it. They're not going to like hold on to all of it until next winter. So I feel like we should be doing the same thing. That's what I do. I do sales. I run a markdown sale, a new one every, I don't know. I drop prices on Poshmark every month. Markdown sales, I feel like I do it every month because I go in and I do things that I've had for 90 days or more. That's when I start marking them down. And then that'll go to 30%. And then I do 40, 50, 75. So I don't want to have stuff more than like a year at the most for my closet, for the most part, unless it's something that's like really high-end designer that I know I don't want to mark down really fast, then it just needs the right buyer. So anyway, that's my opinion and all that. Let me know what you guys think and what you guys do for your business. Somebody told me about right-clicking to open this in a new window. So I guess I can, and then I don't have to keep scrolling back. Okay, this is an MZ Wallace black quilted crossbody. This sold for $50. I think I got this at a local consignment store when they had a clearance. So that was really nice. Okay, thank you to the person who did this. Next up was a Lacoste navy blue windbreaker. This was in a size medium. It did have the Gator logo, kind of a 90s feel, full zip. I did have this listed for higher, but since it sent out 35% off offers, this person got a great deal. Next up was an Outback Trading Company vest. I was going to say I don't pick up this brand, but I've actually never heard of it. I got this at my local Salvation Army, which I never go to, but I don't feel like a lot of other resellers do either. So it was kind of jank in there, but I found this and this other coat that sold really fast. So maybe I should go in there more often. Outback Trading Company definitely had some wear. Apparently that didn't matter. It sold for $45. This was a men's like blanket lined vest. So let me know if you've heard of the brand, if you've sold it before. Next up was a Sachin and Baby. I'm so dumb. I don't know how to pronounce any of this crap. Red dress. This was a red midi dress. It was new with tags. It retailed for way more than that. It finally sold for $40. So I don't know if I would always pick up this brand. Maybe if I found it for cheaper. Next up was a pair of Democracy jeans in a size 16. These sold for $13. These were a pair of burgundy Absolution cargo skinny pants / jeans. So I'm happy to get rid of those. I sold a Torrid swim top for $11. Another Torrid item that didn't do good. And why am I opening up my trash? I don't know. 4X Tankini Peplum, new with tags, retailed for $84.50. have had this thing forever, and it finally sold for $11. So praise. I sold this Lululemon shirt for $14. This was in a size 6. It was just a plain gray, long sleeve, round neck top. Nothing special. Also, I'm pretty sure I just screwed up my little thing I was doing. Okay, let me get back to it. I got to get used to it. Next up, a pair of Democracy jeans that sold for $5. These should have been something that I had went through my bins. Maybe I didn't get to this one yet at that time, but if things are marked $10 or less, I'm sending them to ThredUp. There's no point in keeping it in my closet. So these ones, obviously, I did not get to this bin yet. Size 12, green, Ab Technology, high-rise skinny. Okay, goodbye. I sold this Boston Proper dress for $25. I definitely had this listed higher, but the offer got sent out, and then she counter offered a little bit lower than that, and I'm just like, screw it. Because I'm actually not so sure about this brand. I was getting it based off of other people's, like, oh, it's also new. Based off of other people's advice, but when I listen to other people's advice, I don't feel like it works very much. I mean, not everybody, but like, there's so many resellers that give you advice. They're like, oh, this sells for me. Does it? First of all, I think you guys should be watching what sold videos to base what you buy. Don't buy things based on what other people are buying. Watch their what sold videos and see what's selling for the price you want to sell things and buy it off of that. That's why I try to show you guys these things, because it's like, you can see, oh, I shouldn't pick this up, or I should pick this up. And hopefully as I move forward, I start getting better things and I'm not having as many super low sales, but it might just happen because stuff it was good to start with, but nobody bought it or it went through, but hopefully not as much. So that's my advice, because I still watch resellers now for fun, but I'm like, why are you telling people to buy this? That's not good. Okay, this is a pair of Bryn Walker pants, size small, green cargo, loose fit. I can do decent with Bryn Walker. Maybe if it was a larger size or linen, it would have done better. Those sold for $20. I sold this Garnet Hill dress for $7. This was definitely an older style, so I probably should not have picked it up. This was in a size medium, and it was a red, like, midi length or knee length dress. So goodbye. Next up is this Brunello Cucinelli shirt that sold for $36. I've actually had this for a while. It sold one time and then it got returned. It wasn't a size small and it was silk. I should have been able to get more for this, but I didn't, and that's okay with me because I still made a good profit. I sold these Veronica Beard jeans. Oops, I did not mean to do that. No, I lost my spot, guys. I got to get used to this. Veronica Beard jeans for $9. Veronica Beard, I feel like, does not do good in everything, so don't pick it up just because that's what it is. I think the blazers still do the best, although they're not selling for as much as they used to. These were a size 26. They also had a spot that I couldn't get out. They were called the Blake Straight Leg Classic High-Rise Jeans. Goodbye. I'm not getting those again. Nor will I get these Eileen Fisher jeans. These were in a size 10. These were blue. These were like a mid-rise or high-rise straight. They did have a little discoloration apparently, although I can't really see it on that picture. $11 on those. I sold these Sorel boots for $23. I think if these were in better condition, I could have got more for them. I probably should have left them behind, but maybe I was desperate for inventory. I don't know. I'm trying not to be desperate for inventory these last couple months. If it's not good, I'm just going to get less stuff. So these were the Joan of Arctic Wedge 2 boots in the brown leather, but they definitely had some wear on the toes and in the backs as well. So that was an okay price for them. I sold these Merrell shoes for $11. These were the Encore, like Mary Jane style, which usually does pretty good, but maybe these ones just aren't the best. I feel like I do better with leather type stuff with the Mary Jane style. Next up are a pair of Judy Blue jeans that sold for $11. These were in a size 20 and they were a pair of skinny jeans. So now with Judy Blue, I'm trying to pick up wide leg, boyfriend, not boyfriend actually, that'd be okay. Boot cut seems to do good, flare. So these ones were skinny, so I feel like that's why they didn't sell for as much. After that, I sold this men's Nike sweatshirt in a size extra, extra large for $14. This is like a classic Nike pullover sweatshirt, but I don't know, maybe it's just really oversaturated. Navy blue, nothing special. Next up was a North Face girls jacket that sold for $25. And, oh, I didn't go to it. It was reversible. I think this was one that I got two of them recently that I thought were women's and they turned out to be girls. So I need to make sure I'm checking the size. This was a girl size large. So that kind of sucked. Next up, a pair of Patagonia pants. These ones sold for $20. This is the first sale I made yesterday when I sent out offers. These were called the striped weekender pants. They were hemp and they were in a size extra large. I bet I could have got more money if I waited till summer, but that's okay. I'll take my profit and I will move on. I sold this new with tags Rebecca Taylor top for $35. This was silk in a size 6. I probably would not have gotten this if it wasn't new with tags because Rebecca Taylor doesn't do that good for me. It did have this little heart print. So I guess if you're going for a dark Valentine look, yeah. Next up was an Allie Miles top that sold for $17. This one's in a size medium. Allie Miles doesn't do as good in the smaller sizes. It was a striped like tunic type top. Oops, I messed it up again, guys. I was doing so good until that. Okay, Alex Evenings. This was a really cool dress. I sold it for $59, which is not as much as I normally get, but it was new with tags, and it had this like feathery detail, which I feel like was very 90s Y2K. So that's why I feel like this stood out. So that was a really good sale. I sold these Ariat jeans for $30. These sold extremely quickly, and they were actually called the trouser jean. They were in a size 28, and they were also a short length. They did have some like frayed hem in the bottom, but I think they were supposed to be like that. And here's where it said it right here. They were the trouser jean, but I did look up sell-through rate, and it was over 100% for the trouser style. So that was kind of interesting to me. Next up was a men's icebreaker shirt that was $25. I accepted an offer on this. I was trying to accept more offers than I normally would, even if they're a little bit lower, just to try to meet my daily profit goal. This was a men's size small, navy blue striped. It was called the Oasis shirt. It did have some pilling, but it still sold really fast. I sold these Blundstone boots for $72. These were actually kind of beat, but they still sold good. So people really like these. They were a pair of black leather Chelsea pull-on boots. So look for Blundstone. I think this is definitely a bolo. I did see a brand recently at the thrift store that was trying to like make a knockoff of them or a dupe. So make sure you see that it says Blundstone on there. Next up, I sold these Abercrombie jeans for $15. These were in a size 2 short, and they were the Curve Love dad jean. So they just did okay, and they were also new with tags. So that sucks because that brand used to do so good. Next up was the brand Twisted X, which for some reason I only put Twisted in my title, so my bad on that. These sold for $33. These sold extremely quickly. I got these off of a new rack at a Goodwill. They were a women's pair. They were getting lots of attention from all of the platforms. So let me show you if I can find what the tag looked like on the inside. Oh, right here. Twisted X. So I guess those can do good. But these ones also were in like new condition, so I don't know. Next up is a Patagonia jacket that sold for $42. That was my full asking price. This came from a free box I got from America's Thrift Supply. I did it. They wanted me to do a video on TikTok. Honestly, do not recommend. I mean, I sold this, but the price that they charged, this was their outdoor premium box, would be $13 per piece. And I'm like, nothing in there was worth $13 per piece. So anyway, free to me. This was called the Cables Outdoor Hiking. That's what I called it. Wow. It was called the W's Cable. I did my keywords of outdoor hiking, trail, camping, gorkor. If I can spit out my words. Okay, next, La Gents. Is that how you say that? This was a blazer that sold for $55. I have had this for a while. It was definitely listed higher, but this got marked down a few times, so somebody got it for $55, which is great. That's still a great price. Size 2. Yay. Next up, a pair of Sorel boots that sold for $45. These were a women's size 8, and they were in really good condition. They were like a charcoal gray color. They were called the Snow Angel, so they had this like faux fur up here, and then the lace-up style, and then the rubber snow boot at the bottom. After that, I sold these Tory Burch sandals. These were for a viewer or possibly Instagram follower. So thank you so much. She actually bought something from me. Wait, she might have been the person who bought the shorts from me. I can't remember. I think it was. And then she bought these Tory Burch sandals. So if you're watching, thank you. These were so cute. I found these at the Goodwill recently, out in the rack. Nobody grabbed them apparently when they came out in the new rack. So praise, thank you. Size 8.5. The espadrille slides. Oh, those were so cute. That was a great sale. Next up was an American Eagle pair of pants that sold for $15. These were a pair of burgundy size 8 low-rise skater pants. So the low-rise skater jean, it says, even though they're corduroy, would not get again. Pretty much nothing sells for me from American Eagle. I sold this Johnny Was shirt for $32. I've had this for a while. It has sold before and it has got returned. It was a red embroidered like sheer type top. So I don't know. Usually I sell my Johnny Was for more. This was maybe not quite as substantial, being like a lightweight sheer, but that's okay. I sold this J. Crew sweatshirt for $10. This one was a black and white striped lace trim pullover sweatshirt. Why did I have this? Or was this something that Ryan sold? Either way, it sold for $10. Next up was an Anya swimsuit. This also sold for $10. This is an expensive swim brand, but in my opinion, the last couple of times I've had it, it has not sold well. So I probably would not pick it up again. Let me know what swimsuit brands sell good for you guys, because we definitely should be looking for those soon. I sold this men's North Face puffer for $55. I did keep this instead of giving it to my brother because I needed some good inventory. I couldn't figure out the style with it, even with the style numbers they had, so I just did my own keywords and it sold really fast. Another North Face item, this was a women's coat that sold for $38. This was called the Clementine jacket, kind of more like a rain jacket, I think. It said dry vent on it, and this was in really nice condition, so that was a good sale. This was the other coat that I found at my local Salvation Army, along with that vest. It had no brand and no material, so I just listed it as vintage leather fur coat belted, and it sold for $50 in like a day. So I'm happy with that because I think I paid like $6 for it. So I will gladly take that quick sale and move on. I sold these Obermeyer pants for $21. This is a ski snow brand. These were a pair of women's size 12 black pants. Yeah, I don't know. Those were just okay. Next up was a Free People sweater that sold for $75. So that was amazing. This was new with tags. This was called the Stardust sweater. I think I paid $25 for this. Cropped, oversized, relaxed, chunky knit. Retailed for $98 and I sold it for $75. So yay, that's really close to retail. I sold this J. Crew coat for $24. This was in a size 0 petite and it was a blue coat. Maybe if it would have been a larger size, I could have sold it better. But that's what it sold for. So that's okay. Next up was a Vintage Express sweater that sold for $35. I've sold this exact sweater in a different color for $90 before. It was like a Y2K style, but for some reason this one didn't. And so I just accepted an offer because I've had it for a while and I'm just ready to move it on and somebody else can have it. But if you see these Vintage Express ones with like Angora rabbit hair, check them. Maybe the sell-through rate has gone down on them or the comps. I sold this J. Crew sweater for $42 extremely quickly. I don't pick up very many J. Crew sweaters, but this one was pretty new, and it was an extra large, and it was wool, and it was a Fair Isle print. So all kinds of factors for that. $42, my full asking price. That was a great sale. I sold these Lems shoes for $50. I've never heard of this brand, but I guess it could be a bolo, although I've had a couple resellers tell me that theirs have been sitting. These ones are a pair of green Chukka corduroy lace-up shoes. I found one pair at one of my thrift stores for normal price, and then I went to a Thrift World and they had them in their little glass case for like 30 or 40 bucks. I'm like, you guys can go jump off a cliff. I am so tired of them and their stupid pricing. Ugh. Next up, vintage Charles Klein sweater. This was a style-based pickup. It was a cable knit, size small, made in Italy, fisherman's knit sweater. So the fisherman is a trending style, just so you guys are aware to be using that in your titles. So that was okay. And guess what I just did, guys? I screwed up and I forgot to right click on that sweater. Another J. Crew sweater. This one was a size small, purple blue cashmere. This was $33. This sold extremely fast. There was another reseller that passed over this on the new rack, so I was happy to pick it up. And yeah, that was a nice quick sale. I sold these Doc Marten boots for $28. I have had these for a while. They were a pair of black slip-on, just like a classic style boot. They were kind of worn with some creases in the leather, so that was a decent price. Here's the other pair of Circle G boots. These ones were ankle ones, and as you can see, these ones sold for less. They only sold for $24. Size 7, distressed Western style with the side ankle zip, so probably, like I said, stick to the taller Western style ones. Next up was a Lululemon dress that sold for $25. I have had this for a while. I don't know. I feel like the tennis style dresses would do better for Lululemon. This was like a fitted bodycon, like ruched style dress with the logo on the top back. After that, I sold this Bowden dress for $16. This I've had for quite a while. It was a size 4 green polka dot. This is an older Bowden tag, so I probably would not pick that up again since it took a while and it didn't sell for very much. A Free People top in a size large. I used to pick up like a lot of Free People and Anthropologie in the larger sizes. Not anymore because it can still be oversaturated. Also, that lady needs to wear something. Sorry, guys that are watching. That was a little skanky, I have to say. Okay, next, Duluth trading pants, $20. These were a pair of burgundy Flexpedition pants. These were new with tags, and I don't know. Somebody sent me an offer. I've had them for a long time, so I just took it. This Taylor Swift sweatshirt sold really fast. This was $36. I did find out all of those were real. They were merch from either her website or a concert. This one was from the Eras tour, and it had all the dates and stuff in the back, so $36 on that. There's definitely some that can go for way more money, but for that style, that's kind of what they were going for, so that's what I listed it at. These men's New Balance shoes sold for $55, so that was great. I've been kind of trying to get more of the New Balance, but I make sure I check the style. So these ones were excellent. They were in a size 13. I did throw them through the wash, so they were nice and clean. They were the 990 V4 style, whatever that means. I sold these Keen shoes for $10. These were the Uneek EXO shoes. This style used to do pretty good for me in the sandals and the shoes. So I don't know if the sandals do better, but these ones did not. So I probably would pass on those. A Peruvian Connection shirt that sold for $12. This was a green Pima cotton long sleeve, just basic. I'm trying to just stick with like the maxi dresses, the more substantial pieces, the alpaca cardigans or sweaters from this brand. Next up, I sold a bundle of 3 items for $40. One was a soft surroundings cardigan in a size 1X. I had a post on my Instagram about soft surroundings, and there was still a lot of people that say they pick it up. So you're either doing better than I am, or you're sitting on it forever, or you're not selling it for much. Because every time I have it lately, even when it's new, even when it's plus size, except for the rare, like maxi embroidered boho dress, it is not selling good. So anyway, soft surroundings cardigan and 2 pair of Dansko sandals. $40 bundle, and I forgot to right click. I will get in the habit of this, guys. I hope, because it does make things easier when we are going through the sale, especially when I have so many. Okay, next we have an Alpaca Imports cardigan sweater. This was in a size small. I got it just because basically it said alpaca, and I was like, oh, this will be great. But guess what? It wasn't. So I don't know. You need to check the brand, and plus it had a little hole right there, so that wasn't very good on me. Next up is a pair of Prana pants that sold for $22. These were in a size 2X, so I thought they would do better, but Prana, for the most part, does not sell good for me anymore. I don't know about you guys. Let me know down below in the comments. Do you even pick it up anymore? It just is like, ugh, not that great for me. A bundle for $10. That's very pathetic. It was a really old J. Crew blazer and a pair of Anthropologie pants. Yeah, that was bad. And guess what? I forgot to right click again. The last thing was just a pair of Stetson boots. So I think they sold for like 30 something. I'm not going back to that. So I actually did not finish adding up my Poshmark sales yet. So let me do that really quick, and then I will pop in at the end and tell you my numbers. Okay, guys, good news. First of all, my hair right here is being weird. I met my goal of how much I want to have profit per day. Yay. So my personal sale, I made $24.73. This is after cost of goods and fees. Depop, I made $106.80. Mercari, I made $80.51. eBay, I made $449.49. And Poshmark, I made $1,296.02. That gave me a total profit for the week of $57.55. Divided that by 7 is $279.65 profit per day, which is great because if I want to try to make $100,000 next year, I need to make $275 profit per day because I did times that by 365 and that equaled a little over $100,000 for the year. So going good, goals are going good. I got to keep on that. If I wouldn't have ran those sales on Poshmark, I wouldn't have made this much. So for that one person that was like, I don't really think you know what you're doing. Yes, I do. Okay, I really do. Even though I sell stuff for lower amount, I could have not run a sale. I could have not sent out offers. I could have not did the bundle things and I would not have made as much money and I would not have met my goal. So I do know what I'm doing because I know what to do in order to meet my goal. So anyway, all right, I'm going to be done. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys. See you next time. Bye.